Yo, what's good my YouTube family? Alex Moore here, back again with another video. Thank you as always for tuning into the channel. I want to start off by saying Happy New Year, and I'm sending y'all some good vibes, some good energy your way. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys some tips on what you can do to become a homeowner, or at least some tips for you to at least think about what you're gonna look for when you do become a homeowner in the future. So the first thing I want to talk to you guys about, and this is one of the most important things, if not the most important thing to know just in your homeowner journey, you're just looking for a home, is what are your finances looking like? That goes from everything. Have you guys even thought about what you want your mortgage payment to be? A lot of times people don't even really think about the finances aspect of it. They just look at it and see, man, this is a beautiful $400,000 house, but they haven't even figured out, okay, how much money do I need to pay each month in order to afford this home? Or how much money would I need to put down in order to afford this home? So a lot of people tend to make the mistake of not even having an idea of what they want their mortgage to look like, you know? Do you guys want your mortgage to be $1,500 a month, $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month? You guys need to kind of have an idea of how much money you want to spend and also how much money you are willing to put down in order to make that happen. A lot of people don't realize there's plenty of ways that you can go about getting a home. There's plenty of different loan options out there. You have conventional loans, you have VA loans, you have FHA loans, you have USDA loans. So many different options that people don't really know about. A lot of times people think, man, I need to have all this money to go ahead and put towards a home. But a lot of times, if you're a first-time home buyer, all you need to get a home using an FHA loan is 3.5%. Or if you want to go the conventional route, you only need to put down 3%. Now, for example, 3% of $400,000, only like $12,000 or something like that. $12,000 seems a lot more obtainable than, you know, $30,000 or $40,000 or $50,000. But just keep in mind, the more money you put down, that's gonna help get your mortgage rate a lot lower. And at the end of the day, we all want a low mortgage rate, especially right now while interest rates are high. So just keep that in mind. Do your research on the financial positions first as far as what you want to spend. The last thing you want is to be looking for something and maybe you can get into a home, but you're paying hundreds more than you would like to, and then you have to wait to refinance in the future, and you just don't really want to deal with that. So definitely make sure you have the budget portion in order and you know exactly how much you want to pay monthly. Second thing I want to talk about, and this also still ties into the financial part of everything as well, is have some money set aside. You're gonna need to have money set aside for things such as closing costs. People don't really think about it, but there's a lot of fees and things you have to pay for when it comes to buying a house. You might have to pay for the appraisal. You might have to pay for the escrow fees. You might have to pay for mortgage insurance, title insurance, all these different fees that you don't even really think about when you're going through the process. But these fees can add up. They're not necessarily just small things that's just a quick $50 here, $100 here. These things can rise up. So kind of just be prepared and know, okay, I'm gonna need to have some money set aside to go ahead and take care of these fees that I didn't quite think about when I first started looking for a home. Now, the good news about this part is sometimes the seller will actually pay for some of these fees. So you can kind of negotiate some things, but there's a lot of things that also aren't really negotiable and you'll have to come out of pocket yourself. So each situation is different, but definitely just keep that in mind and know, hey, I'm gonna have to come out of pocket for stuff besides just this $12,000 that I have set aside for the down payment. Also, not only do you need to have money set aside for those closing costs, you also need to have money set aside for after you move into the home as well. Owning a home is completely different from renting, and when it comes to the repairs and maintenance, you're the one who's gonna be responsible for all that. There's a leak coming from the ceiling, you have to pay for that. The toilet's not flushing properly, you might need a whole new toilet, or the sink isn't working properly. Whatever the case may be, I don't know. There's just so many random things that you have to pay for that you don't really prepare for until they actually happen. And a lot of times that could really handicap homeowners, and that really can mess up the finances to where, you know, you wasn't planning to come out of pocket $5,000, $10,000 for this. You might have to put it on a credit card, you know, just things happen that you don't really plan for. So make sure you have bread set aside as well for those rainy days when you're gonna need to take money out to help fix the house. Shifting out of the financing part, another big thing to think about when it comes to becoming a first-time home buyer or just buying a home in 2025 is, where do you wanna live? Have you envisioned what kind of neighborhood you want to live in? Are you somebody who wants to live in the city where you're still close to everything, but obviously, you know, in the city prices are a lot higher if you want a home, and it's also a lot busier? Or are you somebody who wants to be laid back? You want to be in the cut somewhere, you want to be in the suburbs, or you want to be on a farm? Or have you thought about where you want to be as far as your living situation goes? Have you thought about the commute for what it would be if you lived in this neighborhood and had to commute to work every single day? Have you factored in how long it's going to take you to get to work? Have you looked at all at the school system if you have children? You know, what's the education like in different areas? Another big thing people don't think about when it comes to the area that they're choosing to live is, what is the location looking like? Is it an area that's on the rise? Or more people moving to the area? Are buildings being built nearby? Is there a lot of things to do? What's the economy factor? You know, you want to make sure that you're in an area where the economy is on the rise, you know, business is booming, you know that you're going to be able to get some good equity being built up from your home because everything around you is growing. Last thing you want is to be in an area where it's depreciating and you might have bought a $500,000 home or $400,000 home, but in 5-10 years, you're not able to make any money. There's no equity in the home, if anything, because the area around you is decreasing in value. You're actually losing money. And when it does come time to sell, you're either gonna break even or possibly lose money, depending on how bad you wanna get out of that area. So make sure you know where you're looking to buy, and don't just say, hey, I like this crib, so I want to go ahead and buy it. Think of everything else that comes with it as well. And the last thing I'll talk about, and if you guys have watched my channel before, you guys know I'm constantly saying, what is your why? Figure out what is your why for wanting to buy a home. Is it because you're tired of just paying rent? Is it because you feel like social media is telling you it's time to get a home? Is it because of your age? You feel like you need to own something? Or is it because you want an investment property? What is the reason that you are looking to buy? Everybody's situation is going to be different. Everybody's reason is going to be different. But the last thing you want is for you to be in a situation where you're looking to buy a home just because you feel like your ego is telling you to do it, or you feel like you're at that age where you need to do it. Because everybody's timeline is different. Everybody moves differently. Just because this person might have been 25 years old and bought a home doesn't mean that you have to do it at 25. You know, everybody's timeline is different. So just make sure you're buying a home because it's something that you want to do. It's something that you're prepared to take on. It's one of the biggest investments you'll ever make in your life. Coming from someone who's now in the position of owning a home, I can definitely say by far this is the biggest investment so far I've made. The last thing you want is to make an investment like that and then 3 months later, 6 months later, a year later, you're like, dang, actually I didn't really want to buy a home. I think maybe I could have did something else. So just make sure you think long and hard before you make that decision. I didn't mention it, but I am a mortgage broker here in Charlotte, but I can help you out no matter where you're at, or if you have any questions in regards to interest rates, or just want a little bit more insight on what you need to do from a financial aspect to have yourself ready to buy a home. I will link down my website that allows you to go ahead and do a loan application on there, and we can always talk a little bit about what your goals are, what you're looking to accomplish, and make sure we get you guys the best deal possible, because I want to make sure my family is living how they want to live and finds that dream home, has that great payment, and is satisfied. Definitely tap in if you need some help with that. I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. If you did, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. It's Alex Moore. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.